Everyone says rent is throwing money away, right? Your parents said it. Your uncle says it. Every personal finance guru on the internet says it. Here's the problem. They're all wrong. Or they became wrong. Somewhere around 2020, and nobody sent out the memo. Because in January 2026, when you actually run the numbers with current mortgage rates and home prices, renting isn't just okay. It's the mathematically smarter wealth-building move for most people. And I've got 15 minutes of receipts to prove it. Stick with me. This is going to piss off every real estate agent who sees it. So last week, 3 different people, totally unrelated, different ages, different cities, asked me the exact same question. Am I stupid for still renting? Not, should I rent or buy? They asked if they were stupid. And that word, it stuck with me. Because nobody wakes up and randomly decides to feel dumb about where they live. Someone planted that guilt. Your parents, your friends who bought, Instagram, the entire culture. So I did what I always do when something smells off. I pulled up the data. Federal Reserve numbers. Census Bureau. Freddie Mac mortgage rates from literally this week. And what I found honestly made me angry. Because the math isn't even close. And people are out here making themselves miserable over advice that stopped being true 5 years ago. All right, buckle up. I'm about to show you numbers that are probably going to change how you see your entire financial situation. Right now, and I'm looking at Federal Reserve data from Q2 2025, the median home price in America, $410,800. Meanwhile, median household income sits at $83,730, according to the Census Bureau. Quick math. That house costs 4.9 times your annual income. When your parents bought in the 80s, houses were 3 times annual income. So yeah, they had to save and sacrifice, but it was doable. We're not living in that economy anymore. The ratio has blown out by 60%. The game changed and nobody told us. But okay, let's say you're determined. You've been saving like crazy. You're ready to buy. If you put 20% down on that $410,000 house, you need $82,000 cash. And before you say just save it, the National Association of Realtors just reported it takes the average American 7 years to save that much. 7 years. Your mortgage on the remaining $328,000 at 6.15%, that's Freddie Mac's rate from January 5th, comes to $2,000 per month. Principal and interest. And this is where everyone stops. They see $2,000 and think, okay, that's only a bit more than my rent. But that's not the real number. That's not even half the real number. Okay, real talk. Your real estate agent doesn't tell you this part during the open house. Your mortgage lender definitely doesn't put it in the pre-approval letter. All the other stuff, Home Guide and multiple consumer finance studies say you should budget 1% to 4% of your home's value every year for maintenance. Let's be conservative, 2%. On a $410,000 house, that's $8,200 a year. $683 every single month. And I'm not talking about remodeling your kitchen for fun. I'm talking about water heater dies. $500. Roof leaks. $8,000. HVAC he quits on the hottest day of summer. $6,000. Termites. $2,500. Foundation crack. $4,000. This is owning a physical structure that breaks down over time. Like owning a car, except the car costs $400,000 and you can't just Uber instead. Then property taxes. National average is around 1% to 1.2% depending on your state. Let's say 1%. That's $4,100 per year, $341 per month. And if you're in New Jersey or Illinois, LOL, try double that. Texas has no state income tax, so they absolutely destroy you on property tax. 1.8% average. Oh, and those taxes, they go up every single year forever. Next up, homeowners insurance. NerdWallet's 2026 survey puts the average at $2,110 per year. That's $176 per month. And if you're in Florida or California with wildfire and hurricane risk, good luck. You're looking at $4,000 to $6,000 annually. So add it up. I'm putting this on screen right now because people need to see it. Mortgage, $2,000. Maintenance, $683. Property taxes, $341. Insurance, $176. Total, $3,200 per month. And we haven't touched HOA fees, utilities which are always higher in a house, lawn care, snow removal, pest control. That $2,000 mortgage payment everyone talks about? It's actually $3,200 to $3,500 when you count reality. Now compare that to median rent in the US. CNBC just reported it at $1,693 per month as of November 2025. That's almost double. I know what you're thinking. But you're building equity when you buy. Fair. Let's talk about that. And I'm going to be honest, this part surprised even me when I ran the numbers. In year one of a $328,000 mortgage at 6.15%, you pay about $20,000 in interest and $4,000 toward principal. That's your equity, $4,000. Meanwhile, you also spent $8,200 on maintenance, $4,100 on property, taxes, $2,100 on insurance. Total, $14,400 just gone. Doesn't build equity. Just vanishes. Meanwhile, what if you'd rented for $1,693 and invested the difference? Monthly difference. $3,200 minus $1,693 equals $1,507. If you invested $1,507 every month in a basic S&P 500 index fund at a conservative 7% annual return, below the historical average, by the way, after 10 years, you'd have about $262,000. Plus that $82,000 down payment you didn't drop on a house? Invested at 7% for 10 years, it grows to $161,000. Total invested wealth, $423,000. Your house would need to appreciate from $410,000 to $560,000 just to match that. And that's before the 5.5% real estate commission you'll pay when you sell, about $30,800. Plus $8,000 to $12,000 in closing costs when you bought, plus another $5,000 to $8,000 when you sell. So really, your house needs to hit $605,000 just to break even with the renter who invested the difference. I'm not making an argument. I'm just showing you math that nobody else is showing you. This is the part that genuinely keeps me up some nights. The American dream was written for a different economy. Check this out. 1980. Median home price, $64,600. Median income, $21,000. Ratio, 3.1 times. 2026. Median home price, $410,000. Median income, $83,730. Ratio, 4.9 times. Houses got 60% more expensive relative to what people actually earn. The game fundamentally changed. But there's another thing. Our parents got a job at 22, stayed at the same company for 30 years, collected a pension. They bought a house at 27 and stayed there until retirement. How many people do you know right now who are certain they'll be in the same city in 10 years? I literally don't know a single person like that. Not one. And according to NAR's latest report, homeowners now stay in their homes a median of 11 years before selling. All-time high. And it's not because people are happy, it's because they're trapped. You're locked into a 3% mortgage from 2021. Moving to a new house with a 6.15% rate would double your payment. So you just stay. Even if you get your dream job offer in another city. Even if you have twins and need more space. Even if you get divorced. Trapped. And selling? On a $410,000 house, you're looking at $22,800 in real estate commission at the 5.57% national average, $8,000 in closing costs, $3,000 to move, and potentially $6,000 or more if it doesn't sell fast. Total cost just to leave, $40,000. If you're renting, 30 days notice. U-Haul, maybe $2,000 total. Flexibility has economic value, and nobody calculates that. Okay, I need to show you something that genuinely shocked me when I saw it. The National Association of Realtors just reported first-time homebuyer share fell to a historic low, 21%. Less than a quarter of people buying homes are first-timers. And the median age of a first-time buyer? 40 years old. All-time high. Think about that. The average American is now waiting until 40 to buy their first home. Our parents did that at 25. This isn't because millennials and Gen Z are lazy or financially irresponsible. It's because the math doesn't work anymore. According to the Federal Reserve's latest household economics data, 68% of renters can't afford a down payment. 49% can't afford monthly payments. 42% can't even qualify for a mortgage. These aren't people making bad choices. These are people who ran the numbers and realized buying would financially destroy them. And the homeownership rate is projected to fall to 64.8% in 2026, according to Realtor.com. Only about two-thirds of Americans own homes. And that number's dropping. Break it down by income. Fed data again. Only 35% of people making under $50,000 own homes. But those making over $100,000? 85% homeowners. This isn't about discipline. It's not about sacrifice. It's about math. And the math is rigged. But look, I gotta be fair because this isn't true everywhere. Some Midwest cities, Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, buying is only 2% to 5% more expensive than renting. In those markets, if you're staying 10 plus years, yeah, buying probably makes sense. Most major metros, though, brutal. CNBC says in the 50 largest metros, renting is 37% cheaper than buying when you factor in real costs. My cousin lives in Austin, pays $1,800 rent. I ran his numbers for buying. Equivalent, $3,400 per month. That's a $1,600 monthly difference. $19,200 a year he's saving by renting. Seattle, even worse. $2,200 rent versus $4,600 to buy. That's $28,800 a year. San Francisco? Don't even start. Buying costs 180% more than renting right now. If you're in a high-cost city and people are making you feel bad for renting, they haven't done the math, period. Wild stat. Realtor.com just published research saying if you buy in 2026, you might need to stay 10 years just to break even. Not make money, just not lose money compared to renting. That's double the old 5-year rule. I want to tell you about my friend Sarah because she's why I'm making this video. Sarah's 33, graphic designer, makes $75,000, saved $48,000, zero debt. But 3 weeks ago, she called me at 11 p.m., crying. Not because she was broke, because she felt like a failure for still renting. And I told her what I'm telling you. No, you're not wasting money. You're buying flexibility, investing the difference, and avoiding a trap. Wealth isn't about owning things. It's about options. The freedom to move, to pivot, to take risks. That's what money should buy you. And right now in 2026, for a lot of people, renting gives you more options, more wealth, more control over your financial future. So what should you do? Here's my advice. Run the numbers for your city, your situation. Find the true cost of ownership in your area. Mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance. Then compare it honestly to rent. Factor in opportunity cost, what that down payment could earn if invested. And be honest about how long you're really staying. If the math says buy and you're ready for the commitment, great. But if the math says rent, don't let anyone shame you into buying. Because here's the truth they won't tell you. Renting isn't failing. Renting can be the smartest wealth buildings. Move you make. So that's it. Rent versus buy. No BS, no real estate agent talking points. Just the math, the reality, and your financial freedom. If this changed how you see housing, drop a comment below. And if you want more honest money talk, subscribe. Let's figure this stuff out together.